Let me tell you guys about BellyUpSports. BellyUpSports is the internet sports bar. Go ahead and check out their website, www.bellyupsports.com, to read some great articles from great writers all across the country, from hockey, baseball, golf, soccer, you name it. BellyUpSports is the premier, not your average website. Bundesliga, man. So before we get into Bundesliga, I just gotta say, now everyone can shut up about Bayern Munich. That's all I gotta say. I mean, I'm not a Bayern Munich fan by any means, but the comments that I had for, I think it was like Hansi Flick coming back to Bayern Munich, when everyone's like, Bayern Munich's washed, they're done, they're trash, they're not, they're not gonna win the Bundesliga anymore. That team's cooked. The team with the highest pay, you're telling me the team that has the most money in Germany, that team is just never going to win again. I pointed out, it took a team to go undefeated to win the Bundesliga. And Kelcey, you actually the one that brought it up. Bayern Munich had scored more points than they did the year before, which they won the Bundesliga that year. So it literally took a team to just do something historical to dethrone Bayern Munich and end the streak.
Yeah, and Bayern Munich responds the only way Bayern Munich knows how, and I'm sure we're going to say this again in a minute, but they're setting records their own self. Just like, all right, fine, you beat us with a record-setting performance last year. Fine, we're going to be twice as good, and we're going to set our own records, like goal scoring, goals against. Like, this team is just this. We talked about this in the build-up in the preseason, like what we expect from the Bundesliga, and we both kind of had the same idea. It's like, if Bayern Munich can stay healthy, there's no reason they shouldn't come back as champions. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, the only thing that ever concerned me was health.
Mm-hmm.
Just that's it. They're healthy, by the way.
They're healthy. They went and got Olise. This team was like, oh, our roster's old? Okay. Like, that's literally what Bayern Munich just was like, all right, cool. Take Matthias de Ligt. We don't care about that guy.
It's crazy, honestly.
Also,
that turnaround,
mind you,
crazy.
They were trying to get Araujo, but I mean that didn't happen, obviously. But
and Musiala is also healthy, and he looks like the part of the Cam that he's a superstar Cam. Like, he looks that guy looks like that guy again.
Yeah. So, I mean, all right. Well, we'll start from ascending order. Then we'll start up top. First place, obviously, leading the charge to be the champions of Bundesliga. In first place, we got Bayern Munich with 33 points so far in the season. Is it finally going to happen for Harry Kane? Do you think we're finally going to see Harry Kane with a trophy in his hands? Or I guess not really a trophy, a shield. But
a champion of a league trophy. Honestly, I want to say yes. They're 4 points clear. But the fact of the matter is, Leverkusen's not a slouch this year. They've lost one game and drawn two more. That's the difference between the two. It's an incredibly tight race. Bayern still shows small gaps. I don't think it's enough to unseat them. Let's just put it that way. I do think this is a Harry Kane situation where he has an opportunity to win, but I've always questioned Harry Kane in big games. Can he be the guy that just steps up and shows that he's as good as he's supposed to be? One of the best goal scorers in this generation. But like in big games, when granted he doesn't get a lot of opportunities, in the few opportunities he's had, he doesn't necessarily perform well. And so I hope this is a situation for him where they don't have to have that moment, so we don't have to find out. But yeah, I think Bayern Munich should win the league. There is a frost nipping at the hills, if you will.
All right. How much percent are you giving it to the roster versus Vincent Kompany?
I'm 99.9% on the roster side, and if I could go less than 0.1%, I'm going less than 0.1% Vincent Kompany. With that said, I don't mean that disrespectfully. I just think their roster is incredibly good, how young they are. But I will say, Vincent Kompany, to bring that together and just tactically make the right decisions, I give him the respect for that.
He also was gifted a very loaded roster.
Yeah, so good. They're just so good. I'm not going to take it away from Kompany by any means, but It's definitely the roster.
I mean, I think the same approach, the same tactics that he applied at Burnley, and obviously that panned out the way it panned out. Once again, what a vertical what a vertical shift in career. It's just going from on a team that got relegated to now you got the opportunity to just buy whoever you want and have this star-studded lineup that
Yeah.
you have zero connection to. So that's also a very interesting thing that Bayern Munich went for.
Shout out to Aaron Danks, his assistant coach. Um, dude was at Aston Villa before Middlesbrough. He is an unsung hero for Vincent Company. He's the tactical guy for Vincent Company. It's just worth giving him that shout where this is an academy guy who used to be an academy coach and just slowly worked his way up the ranks. And he works perfectly, absolutely perfectly with Vincent Company in all the right ways.
Okay. No, and I agree with that. But all right, Champions League, the teams that are in the other top four spots for a Champions League spot, we got second place Bayer Leverkusen with 29 points, so not that far away.
No.
It's literally a loss and a draw away from Bayern Munich.
Two draws and a loss. Yeah.
My math is bad. So
No, I mean
yeah.
it is 4. You're right. It is 4 points. But yeah,
Oh,
it's
but to jump over them, yeah, I get
yeah.
what you mean. So they're not they're if you really want to say it, they're 2 games away from jumping over Bayern Munich, and obviously Bayern Munich is gonna have the slip up. It's probably against Hoffenheim for some reason. It's always Hoffenheim,
Or Dortmund. I mean, those seem to be the two.
yeah, they're closer. How did that pan out? It did not pan out very well for Dortmund. It did. It was bad. It was. I remember that was ugly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's interesting now being me just watching them, and I'm just like, wow, this. Sheesh. But hey, Gio Reyna's back. He scored a goal on his return, so that's positive. Uh,
Yeah.
as long as he can stay healthy. And that's a big maybe. Um, third place Eintracht Frankfurt with 27 points, and then in fourth place also with 27 points RB Leipzig. When you look at these teams that are essentially, I would say, competing or hoping, depending on, I don't know what you want to use, compete or hoping to compete for the Bundesliga title. Um, Obviously, I think Bayer Leverkusen is still the name to watch. I think, despite being second right now, Xabi Alonso clearly is doing good things with this team. I haven't really been paying attention to them in Champions League, so I don't really know if they're uh, good or bad. I just know that there's always rumors that Real Madrid are going after Florian Wirtz. The rumors that John Dentá is going to Barcelona, um, which is obviously the always what comes with the territory of having a good team that probably shouldn't be there, is that everyone's trying to pluck all the players that are on there. Um, and obviously, Xabi Alonso also rumored to. I don't know. I don't think Arne Slot's losing his job anytime soon with Liverpool, and I doubt Don Ancelotti is going to be retiring anytime soon. I think, and for the fans that are saying that Ancelotti should be fired, that man gets as much leeway as he possibly can, and I will stand on that island that there's no way in hell that Real Madrid will fire that man. It will literally take Ancelotti to step down from the role.
Yeah.
Or if he
That's
has
accurate.
a second unless he just has 2 terrible seasons, which
That's not happening.
yeah, which is very hard. I
Again,
think
big money rosters. You'll figure it out.
yeah, exactly. And so I think unless Ancelotti decides to step down, I think kind of similar to Sir Alex Ferguson, where they leave on their own terms. Even Jurgen Klopp is another
Yeah.
example. Just he's gonna leave on his own terms. Real Madrid. I mean, we are talking about Perez, but Perez ain't stupid. Like
Like he learned. Well, he learned from his mistake once.
which was also letting Ancelotti go, which
Exactly.
I thought that was idiotic. Even though Zinedine Zidane, great job, literally just copied what Ancelotti did, which great job,
Yeah.
good call.
Figured it out quickly.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. It's the
So
small things. But no, I think you're right. I don't think he goes anywhere. I think Xabi is just happy at Leverkusen for now.
Yeah, I don't think there's a job right now that's enticing enough for him. Like it's got to be a Real Madrid or a Liverpool. I think he
Yeah.
has to have maybe even a Real Sociedad. But
I know he's not going to Man United, so I don't have to worry about that happening at least.
yeah, that's a. Do you think Ruben? I mean, obviously this isn't Premier League talk, but do you think Ruben Amorim's like realizing he just, even though he just pulled, which is it an upset? Is Man City, Man United an upset, or is it like just two teams that are really down bad? Finally, one gets a win.
I think it's more just it's just a rivalry game.
Okay,
So I think he gets a little bit less of a upset tag to it. But with that said, I think anybody who says Man United was supposed to win that game is crazy. So I like,
but the meat.
yeah, it's an upset, but it's like a very loose term of upset.
So yeah, so just for you guys' reference, me and Jose we recorded the day before, and I made a reference to a meme that is pretty explicit, but essentially it's that everybody gets a turn with Man City, and it's starting to see more and more like that's happening now. Once
Yeah,
again, Twitter, I don't know what to do because if it's not sports related, it's porn. That's all.
it's so bad.
It's one or it's like not even in between. Like it's one or the other. And
Or
and
it's
I
political. Like it's political, it's porn or it's sports.
like I was like I don't search porn. I don't search porn on Twitter. Like, it's like I mean I'm a guy just like anybody else, but I mean like I don't search for porn on Twitter.
I will say this, and this is going to catch some flack probably. If you're a lady and you have a guy who's on Twitter, don't judge him if he sees some random ladies' bits on Twitter. I swear it's just a thing now. Like there's so many random ads that pop up. Like don't judge the man.
Yeah, like there's this oh, man. I saw a
It's
clip of
not his fault.
some
Now, unless it
chick
is his fault, in which case it's his fault. But
of
it's
some
not
of
his fault.
some woman who chose to try to sleep with 100 guys in one day, and I was just like, why is that even an attempt? Like,
Some records weren't meant to be broken,
oh God, but I mean,
or
hey,
even attempted to be broken.
I mean, more power to you. I mean, but yeah, if it's not sports, if it's not politics, it's porn, and I like it, I can't. It's not now. I can't just go out in public and just check out a Twitter feed because I don't know if something's gonna pop up, and so like now I'm just like it's a dangerous game now, Twitter.
Yeah, just delete them all. That's where I'm
Every
at now.
it has everything apparently. Uh, it's insane.
Everything
But
and then some.
and that's Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah, that's probably
um, but I guess looking at Eintracht Frankfurt and RB Leipzig, do you see any chance for them?
no, but at the same time, let's not forget Eintracht Frankfurt in December 23 is the thing that set Bayern Munich back far enough that Leverkusen was able to take that edge in that 5-1 drumming of Bayern Munich. So with that said, Eintracht Frankfurt probably doesn't do much, but I just leave out hope that they could possibly upset the apple cart long enough to get Leverkusen a leg up on Munich. And this is kind of the run we see in the Bundesliga. There's always a team that quote unquote keeps up with Bayern at the end of the season. It's just Bayern doesn't stumble enough. If they can stumble twice, it gives an opportunity for somebody like Leverkusen, who is only 4 points behind, to get up there. But yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be Eintracht or it's gonna be Leipzig that can cause a stumble enough for Bayern. But at the same time, if there's gonna be two teams, they're my two likely choices.
I'm just telling you,
Tottenham and
one
Dortmund.
one of those teams is going to be Hoffenheim. At this point, I have watched plenty of
or
Bundesliga.
Bochum. Don't forget VFL Bochum.
Yeah, any team in some sort of shade of blue, like I mean that it's gonna do it to
Shade of
Bayern Munich
blue and bottom 5-6 teams in the league.
without fail. It's just it has been without fail, with when it comes down to it. But you're right, and I think it is kind of. I mean, Bayern Munich is Thanos, right? Like you
Yeah.
should aim for the head. Like that's literally what this team is.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't disagree. But yeah, they got to catch Bayern Munich slipping twice, and I agree with that. If Bayer Leverkusen's hoping to repeat, this season, they're gonna one have to keep getting their results, which I mean clearly they are, minus the draw and the draws and the losses. But if Bayern Munich does slip, they gotta be able to capitalize on it, and I think that return match, that return leg between Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen is going to be very telling because once again, insert stupid 6-pointer opportunity quote, but it is what it is exactly that. And then
Yeah.
hope that Bayern Munich slips up again. So and that is that's a very huge point. But the other European competitions in the fifth place spot, SC Freiburg with 24 points, and in the Europa Conference League spot, we got sixth place VfB Stuttgart with 23 points. Um, how are you liking that setup right now, or do you see Stuttgart getting a chance to jump over Freiburg?
If they could figure out how to stop giving up goals, that would be a good start for Stuttgart.
Yeah,
Giving up 24 goals so far, which is crazy because they've scored 29, which is the fourth highest in the Bundesliga. Oh, sorry, fifth highest was Wolfsburg down there. But yeah, no, Stuttgart's a team I think could jump Freiburg. They just have to figure out how to stop giving up goals, and they can do that. I also look at Mainz, who is just outside of this at seventh, as a team that might slide in if Freiburg falls down. Because again, teams that need to, in the Bundesliga, you need to score goals as well, just like in Syria or in Liga. And if you're not scoring goals, you're going to be hoping that your defense holds tight. And it's not the old Germany type of football anymore where you can just build the wall. It's very much a thing where you have to score first. And Freiburg is not necessarily the best at scoring right now. So, yeah, I think Freiburg is the one I look at as possibly the mover here, and not in a good way. Like probably going to be falling down type of mover. So don't be surprised to see Stuttgart and Mainz fighting for that fifth, sixth spot.
yeah, that's a good shout. I mean, mine's one of my favorite teams to say, um, in the Bundesliga. But all right, the relegation zone in 16th place, the team with the play-in opportunity because Bundesliga also has a play-in, is FC Heidenheim 1846 with 10 points. 10 points.
I didn't laugh at that, I promise.
That I mean, it gets so much worse.
Oh, it
Um,
does.
in 17th place, we got Holstein Kiel with 5 points.
Uh,
Yes, that's right. You heard me right. 5 points, a win and two draws in there, and a bunch of losses. And then it gets so much worse. 18th place VFL Bochum with 3 points. Are those three wins? I mean, is that a win or three draws? I don't know.
it's three draws. Three draws.
Yeah, so pretty bad.
Yeah. You remember that thing I said about scoring goals? Yeah, 11 goals on the season so far for Bochum. Giving up 35. That's tough. I found my team to beat Bayern at a random. I said it earlier. I'm going to stick by it. VfL Bochum is that team now. No, this is crazy. This bottom three is
is this your jersey bet? Is this your
no, God no, I'm not stupid. I don't make jersey bets. We know that.
Yeah, that's oh my God, that is super bad. Um, yeah, wow. Uh, do you see anybody improving their chances here?
The best one is Heidenheim. I mean, having 10 points gives them an opportunity. They're 1 point ahead of the safe zone, or 1 point down from the safe zone. They just have to beat FC St. Pauli.
Which I was gonna mention that team, and the reason why I was gonna mention that team is because of the fact that St. Pauli, this was the team that had the young manager that now is the manager for Brighton, who is technically from Houston, Texas, but he was also German, and so can't really claim him. I'm gonna claim him. I'm gonna claim him,
claim him.
An American coach that Brighton wanted. But yeah, it kind of once again is when teams are doing good, they get poached. Paulie didn't even get a chance to like see how this season's gonna look with their coach because Brighton was like, well, Roberto De Zerbi's gone. All right, let's get that guy.
Yeah. Oh, this guy's winning with a really bad team. He's coming here.
Yeah, so that's what happened. But yeah, St. Pauli, you mentioned them. Um, yeah, they're not doing any better than Heidenheim is either. So
Well, at
uh,
least Heidenheim scoring goals. That's the
yeah,
difference here. St. Pauli is tied with 11 goals as the lowest goal scoring team in the Bundesliga with Bochum. Difference is they've only given up 19, whereas Heidenheim has given up more than 30. So yeah, Heidenheim probably has the best opportunity. Again, this goes into, can you stop letting goals in long enough to win a game potentially?
It is insane. But yeah, any teams of note to you? I mean, we already mentioned my team, which was St. Pauli. I think that they're not that far away from the bottom, and that battle for that 16th place spot is going to be very intriguing, um, to say the
Yeah.
least.
I'm intrigued by just in general the battle for fifth and sixth place. Between 11th place and fifth place, there is a 3 point difference. So there are 7 teams in that range. Sorry, 7 teams in that range that could be into a Euro or Europa League matchup. And that's crazy. One of those is Dortmund, though. I look at Dortmund as kind of that team that I just wonder what they're going to do. Obviously, Gio being back there, maybe getting playing time now is a big impact for them for the future, because that's kind of really one of the big pieces they've always missed, is that connector between their back line and their front two or one or three, whatever they decide to run. And it's with Gio, he seems to be comfortable in that spot for Dortmund. So can that be enough to get them over the hump? Can he stay healthy? Can their team stay healthy long enough to get them into a play-in spot or a Europa League spot? I don't know, but there's so many teams there where you're just looking at them like somebody's got to make a move here. There's no way this stays status quo with the 3 point difference between seven teams. So yeah, there's just in general the battle for fifth and sixth place is crazy.
Yeah, and I think Borussia Dortmund is another team that everyone should keep an eye on, just because of I have no idea what happened here.
Yeah,
Uh, it is insane how everything has transpired for them. But I mean, granted, they were gifted a Champions League spot because they were the only team in the top four in the Champions League last year that was in fifth. They were basically in a Europa League position,
yeah,
and then because Real Madrid already secured their spot for the Champions League, and so was Bayern Munich, and I believe also PSG. All of them had their Champions League spot positions already covered, so they were like, "All right, Borussia Dortmund."
yeah. Magic happens sometimes. You just gotta turn it into more than just a middling league position at the next year. You get money, and then it's like, all right, we're not going to spend it. What are you doing?
Exactly, man. So it's gonna be interesting with the Bundesliga. Um, do you think Bayern Munich is gonna slip up enough for Bayer Leverkusen to poach on it?
I don't think so. I really don't. It's hard to say they would, just because they're so good. I mean, that team is just so good, top to bottom. We talked about PSG on the other in Ligue 1, undefeated. If PSG and Bayern match up today, I'm taking Bayern 10 out of 10 times. Like, that's how good Bayern is right now. So yeah, I mean, I don't think they slip up enough, but one injury to the wrong person at the wrong time can impact the next 4 matches. So that's always something to keep in mind, especially nowadays where injuries are so prevalent. Yeah, I don't think they do, but barring a major injury type of thing.
Yeah, I agree.